Hi guys, my name is Anuj Jindal and today we are going to start with a new series wherein we will be talking about the NITI Aayog report which is called a strategy for new India at 75. There are four major parts of this report which has been presented by NITI Aayog and every part has very detailed subparts. So if we talk about the first part, which is the drivers, which is called as drivers, there are 11 subparts of that particular part, which is called as drivers. So it's going to be a very detailed series where we'll be talking about all these parts and subparts one by one. And believe me, this is going to be very helpful for your RBI preparation as well as UPSC preparation. There's a lot of content online related with this particular report, but the analysis is a little missing. And the analysis is missing just because there are not enough detailed videos, detailed sessions held on this particular report, which has been presented by NITI Aayog. There are three major reports which NITI Aayog has presented. One is this strategy for New India at 75, one is on SDGs, and one is the 2018 roundup. All these three reports are very important. We've already covered the SDG one. We're going to cover the strategy for New India at 75 now. And after this, I'm going to cover the 2018 roundup given by NITI Aayog. So, welcome to the channel. Let's start with the first lesson on this series. And to start with, as I said, there are four major subparts of or four major parts of this report. So the report has been divided into four major parts. One is drivers, second is infrastructure, third is inclusion, and fourth is governance. And these are the subparts: 11 subparts, 11 subparts, 12 subparts of inclusion, and 7 subparts of governance. So if we talk about the major objectives of India at 75 which are envisioned by Niti Aayog, then these are the following major objectives. Number one, Niti Aayog wants to create or wants India or wants the government to create a new India by 2022 by following uh, uh, all these other objectives and also by following or by working on these major divisions which have been provided by the Ayog. Number two, make the country a 4 trillion economy by 2022-23 from a 2.7 trillion economy in 2017-18. Now, this number is important from examination point of view. It can be asked in RBI phase 1 as well as in phase 2 ESI section. And this can also be asked in the examination similarly. It is also important from UPSC prelims point of view. It can be asked in the examination. The third is accelerate GDP growth to 8% by 2022-23 from 6.7% in 2017-18. I'll be talking about this particular number in more detail later. Identified 41 different areas which needs to be developed, and these different areas are the ones that have been mentioned here: 11 subparts, 11 subparts of infra, 11 subparts of drivers, 12 subparts of inclusion and governance, 7 subparts. These are all areas, different areas which need to be developed. By 2022, New India will provide a solid foundation for clean, inclusive, sustained, and sustainable growth for the next 3 decades. That is till 2052, 3 decades. So this is another objective that has been created. Now let's jump on directly to the first one, first part of the report or first major category, that is drivers. This particular category talks about the major drivers which can help India grow in a clean, sustainable, sustained, and inclusive manner. So, these are the major drivers which can help India achieve what it wants to achieve by 2022 when it turns 75. So, 11 drivers have been provided: growth, employment and land reforms, technology and innovation, industry, agriculture, policy, and so on and so forth. What I'll be doing is in every video, I will be talking about one or two drivers, and we'll be covering all these 11 drivers one by one, and then we will move towards infrastructure, inclusion, and governance. So, this way, I'm going to cover all the important areas. Now, all the other channels or all the other teachers or all the other educators have covered this in probably two or three parts only, the entire report, but that is not enough. if you want to be sure that you've covered the entire report, which is going to be very helpful not only for the examination, not only for phase 1 or phase 2, but also from interviews point of view, whether it's UPSC or RBI, then a detailed study is important, and it's very interesting. It's not even difficult to understand or remember or recall this. It's so interesting. So the first major driver is to achieve growth by 2022-23. What kind of growth and what numbers of growth? Number one point is to achieve 8% during the period of 18 to 23, raising the economy's size in real terms from $2.7 to $4 trillion. So one target is to raise Indian economy to $4 trillion, and second target, or how it is going to be achieved, is by achieving an average growth rate. Please understand what I'm trying to say. An average growth rate of 8% in these 5 years of 2018 to 23. So let's say presently the growth rate is 6.7%. In 1920, the expected growth rate, let's say, or the finally we are able to achieve 7.2%, so on and so forth. 2021, 22, 23, 22, 23. So we have a total of 5 years. Now in these 5 years, what should be the growth rate in different years so that the average growth rate is 8%? So this is going to be the average growth rate. This is the target that has been created by or envisioned by NITI Aayog. And for this, we need to achieve more than 10% growth in one of these years, one or two of these years, because presently the growth rate is less than 8%. So we need to have more than 8% or more than 10% in order to have an average of 8%. So that is what is provided in the report. And there was confusion over this because the report also said that over the next 2 years, we should have a growth rate of more than 10%. Now, it's very practical in nature because they already know that the present growth rate is less than 8%, and therefore we need higher growth rate in the future years before 22-23 in order to ensure that the average growth rate is 8%. The second one is investment rate should be raised from 29% to 36% of GDP by 22-23. Exports in goods and services should be increased from $478 billion to $800 billion. Again, these numbers are important. They can be asked in the examination. So these are the objectives that have been provided for growth. How can they be achieved? In order to understand that, it's important that we know the current situation. There are a lot of points that have been provided in the current situation, and the detailed PDF that I have created contains all those points. Number one is India is the fastest growing major economy in the world in the medium term. That is the present current situation, which is a positive point. Within manufacturing, growth has often been highest in sectors that are capital intensive, such as automobiles and pharmaceuticals. This is a negative point. The reason is that we want areas of manufacturing that are labor intensive to grow faster because we are a labor rich country. But if the areas which are capital intensive are growing faster than the labor intensive sectors, that is harmful for employment generation in the future. Number two major negative point that has been mentioned, that is the current situation, is that the manufacturing contribution of manufacturing to GDP is very low compared with other countries which are in a similar economic growth or development range. So if another country, let's say Brazil is or South Africa, is in similar range of development, similar level of development, and the contribution of manufacturing to GDP, which should be and which is in other countries, is much higher than what it is in India, which is a negative because it shows that the industries have not grown to the level that they should have. And the third point is inflation rate is low and stable, which is a positive current situation. Now, what should be the way forward? What should be the target? How should we proceed in the future so that we are able to ensure that the objectives that had been identified under growth are achieved by the country by 2022-23? Number one, in investments, the GDP increase, the tax to GDP ratio should be increased from 17% to 22% by 2022-23. The government has to exit from central public sector enterprises because there are a lot of funds which are invested and blocked in these public sector enterprises which do not provide sufficient returns, and that's a loss for the government. And that money can rather be invested in more important areas. Third is public private partnership mechanism, which was recently suggested by Kelka committee, should be accepted, wherein the Kelka committee said that the government has to move out of public sector enterprises, has to ensure that public private partnership is made profitable and is followed in more enterprises, is followed in more sectors. The second potential where India has to work is fiscal and monetary policies. So the debt to GDP ratio has to come down to 60%. It is presently almost at 70% combined for central and states, and it has to come down to 60% as per FRBM. This has been mentioned by FRBM. NITI Aayog does not give any numbers. FRBM has given these numbers. Capital expenditure incurred for health and education has to be excluded from revenue expenditure into and put into capital expenditure, so that the country or the government is more incentivized to invest in health and education, which are important pillars for growth or sustained growth of the economy. Inflation needs to be contained within the target of 2 to 6%. Financial intermediation. The gift city should be leveraged to push the envelope on financial sector liberalization, and alternative sources of credit have to be encouraged. Now, presently, the country is heavily reliant on the banking sector for its credit needs, and majority of the depositors invest into the banking system. Other modes or other sources of credit like capital markets or debt markets have to be grown. The depth in these markets have to be further increased, so that more and more people can take advantage of these markets, and at the same time more people have access to finance. Focus on exports and manufacturing. So Niti Aayog very clearly says that we have to focus more on exporting and manufacturing as much as possible. A dedicated fund has already been created this year for 5,000 crore, and the focus of that is to enhance 12 champion services sectors. There were 12 champion services sectors. Now a lot of manufacturing sectors have also been added in this particular area in order to encourage both these industries. And we have to integrate our economies with other South Asian economies if we want to export and manufacture even more. And the last is employment generation. But I have not discussed anything here because the next point that we have, or the next driver that we have, is employment and labor reforms. Let me take you to those drivers. Employment and labor reforms is the next driver that we have. So, in the next lesson, we'll be talking about this particular second driver, employment and labor reforms, employment and land reforms, sorry, and then we'll move forward and talk about other drivers as well. I hope you like this particular lesson. Please subscribe to the channel before down this window, and please press the bell icon so that you regularly get updates of our videos. I've also created a new series, another series, which is called as Question of the Day, wherein I discuss major important news items which have been currently in news and which are also at the same time relevant from the examination point of view. I hope you like the lesson. All the very best. Take care. Have a good time.